keep her being hurt through this tough exterior. She played tough.
She's not playing tough. She may have.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. We are talking to you guys today, about Put a Ring in It. We're dealing with Darian and Alexia again, and Alexia playing tough. We wanted to break down some of the things going on around that, and really present to you guys, is it emotional safety that she needs, or does she need to soften up a little bit, or is it a bit of both? Let's have that real conversation. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of what the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is. You got the minerals, baby. I would sing it, but my voice is gone. And as well, don't forget, grab your bottle down below, because the streets are hot, and get your merchandise and t-shirts down below as well. All right, cool. Let's get into the video. But before we do, let's play our little intro. Let's get the show kicking. You know what time it is. All right, so Darian and Alexia have a situation where Darian is complaining that, Alexia hasn't been so feminine with her energy, and she's been so tough. And even the reason why he couldn't understand why Alexia was feeling the way she was feeling is because he saw her through tough eyes. I mean, she had played it tough. She said she didn't care. She doesn't mind if he goes on a date with Kai, whatever, right? Because she's playing hard to get, which is what we put there. She's playing hard to get as a title, right? But the truth of the matter is that she isn't as tough as she's trying to make out. And I think there's a case for both sides, but more than likely, I want to lean towards the fact that Darian needs to create a safe space for Alexia to be able to be soft and feminine in. Very often, so relationships get to a place where it's very easy to see someone else who's outside of your relationship, who's brand new, hasn't been scarred, hasn't had the baggage and the years of experience in your relationship, and kind of like do something where it's like, oh, this person doesn't do what you do. It's easy to say, oh, that person isn't hurt. Well, you haven't been in a relationship with them. You haven't hurt them yet, okay, to see how they're going to react to being hurt. Because guess what? Every relationship, you're going to get hurt. It's impossible not to be in a relationship and not get hurt. It's part and parcel of relationships. So what's really interesting is what's going to happen when that person gets hurt. Do they harden completely? What type of hurt is it? Is it a deep cut? Is it a deep wound? Is it something that's quite light? Different actions have different weights and have different consequences to how the person behaves. What we do know about this situation is the fact that Darian doesn't understand, or doesn't seemingly look like he understands when Alexia is doing a hard man show, and actually is actually a signal for him to try and open her up, to soften her. And what environment has he created to also produce that? Anybody watching this, if you're in a relationship and you're suffering something very similar to this, I want to open your eyes to this. You have to create a safe environment. Okay, you create safe environments by having a space of non-judgment, good questioning, okay, a space and an arena to talk freely, okay, to listen well, okay, not being hasty to interrupt. That creates the safe environment. Nobody wants to share their absolute truths when you're judging them. Nobody wants to share their truths when you're going to cuss them. Nobody wants to share their truths if you're going to keep on interrupting them. Nobody wants to share their truths if you're not truly listening to understand, but listening to respond. That's the safe space. That's the emotional safe space that allows you to be soft. I want to also flip it. I think Alexia carried a lot of this masculine energy from early. I don't think it's just because of the fact that she played basketball. I think whatever she's experienced in the past, from childhood up until now, this has also contributed towards her energy towards the relationship and not being as feminine. But he did make a point that, you know, he had a fun, loving Alexia in the very beginning of their relationship, which is what he wanted to go back to. Guess what? She isn't the same woman. And guess what? She has needs and desires that she wants from you, and you haven't fulfilled that. Why do you think she would not harden up? It would be arrogant to think because you're not doing the things that she requires that she wouldn't change. Now, I don't think the things she's asking for are even selfish. Things like marriage are not selfish. I mean, they can be, but it's here for safety and feeling like somebody cares for you and wants to love you for eternity and wants to be committed to you. That's why we have this marriage situation. And when you decide that you're too scared to be in that marriage, okay, because it all ruins things. Guess what? You're going to make it. Guess what's going to happen to your relationship? You're saying it's not safe for us to go into marriage because you're scared of the ring. You might not have told her that directly, but what you've done now is exposed her to a space where it's dangerous. So she has to become more masculine. Because remember, the masculine energy, and when I say masculine energy, is about protection. So if you're not going to offer that protection and that commitment, guess what she's going to have to do? She's going to harden herself up because she has to protect herself. And you're asking for her to be open and light and airy, and you're not doing things that are going to help protect her. That being said, too, it seems like whenever they have an argument, I'm looking at some of the arguments they've had recently, and he really doesn't pay attention, or so doesn't listen as well. There's not an active listening from him. When he gets into a place where he's meant to be listening, no eye contact is made, body language is off. Those kind of things don't create the intimacy that is meant to create in a relationship to help you move forward, to help people feel safe in your presence. He needs to do that. Let's watch a bit more of the video.
To be tough, Mr. Darian. Right?
And that's what I need help with, because I need to know how to see through.
So he wants to have help how to see through the tough exterior. Here's the thing. He doesn't want to see through the tough exterior. It takes work. I don't think he has the currently, I think he would admit this, he didn't have the tools to be able to see through someone like Alexia at this moment. Because really and truly, that takes work, and that takes time, and that takes effort. I already said this in another video, I think he's got emotional deficiencies in the fact of being emotionally intelligent and having emotional depth. I think there's a lack there. And so when there's a lack there, just like when someone is maybe illiterate or may have, I can't remember what it's called now, where you can't see the words on the page, but when they have those particular things, people can overcompensate, right? They can do other things to try and cover up the fact that they can't be able to read, right? And I think the same thing happens here. The fact that he can be emotionally lacking of depth in terms of being able to explore those feelings and articulate that in a way that person can understand, I think he covers up and pretends as if I didn't see her being hurt. I didn't see her being hurt. No, you saw her being hurt. I just don't think you had the knowledge nor the understanding to be able to tackle that issue. I think that's what happened. And I said this in an analogy, which is that many of us see Africa and go, oh, there's a lot that's happening there. It's really peak what's happening there, right? But a lot of us are not active in trying to help Africa. Reason being, we don't know where to start. Yeah? We're looking at the big picture and it's like, it's a huge task. What's my little thing going to contribute? Right? Oh no, I can't be part of this. Like, it's too big. And I think sometimes that happens even in relationships. Like this issue, going down that rabbit hole requires a lot of work and energy. And if you decide to go down it, you have to address it. And that takes a lot of effort. And I don't think he's ready for that kind of work because he doesn't have the resources at hand. And so therefore, it kind of creates this little bit of fear in there. If I address it, I don't have the resources to handle this situation. It's going to go to pot. Right? So Alexia's tough exterior to him really is about her being protected from the outer elements, and so someone can't get in. He admits that it's her armor, but it requires him to also create a safe space for her to take off her armor. We need that. The soldier can't take off his armor until he's at refuge. If he's not taking off his armor, it's because he still feels he's still in danger. That's a relationship. People don't take off their armor until they feel like they're safe and no longer in danger. Now, I definitely agree that the other side can do something to contribute towards that, to make sure that, they're not staying hard, and that's something else we can address later on. But for now, I really do feel we have to put that onus on Darian to create that space.
As tough as she may be, you said you were going out with somebody more than a certain amount of times, and she had to leave.
Now, I don't know if you noticed his body language there. He was able to look at Dr. Viv in the eye the whole entire time she was talking. He didn't look away. And the reason why, again, is because he's not connected to Dr. Nicole in that way. So he can look at her. But when he's having a conversation with Alexia, this conversation here, the bedroom conversation where they were talking and he was on the bed and she was in the bathroom. Same kind of thing happened there. When they're arguing, he doesn't want to look at her. And I think that speaks to how he handles conflict and also how he handles highly emotional situations. I don't think he handles them maturely yet. I think he rather avoids rather than actually tackling the actual issue. Okay? Let's work with a bit more.
And you're like, I don't understand.
Because you play tough guy at the house. So it's like, okay, I don't care.
So you see, this is why it doesn't pay to try and be strong in moments where you're not strong. You see, his whole excuse is that she's playing tough. So what do you want to do about it? How's I meant to know? Like, if you communicated that's how you feel, communicate how you feel. And we'll do a video on this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, both men and women, stop saying you're okay when you're not okay. It's okay not to be okay. Jesse J said that, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay not to be okay. Say you're not okay. Stop saying you're okay and then expecting the person to push through and try and find out if you're okay. If you're not okay, say you're not okay. Let's stop these games of trying to make the person pursue you and find out whether you are okay or not. Like, I wanted him to ask me more questions. No, are you okay or not? Are you okay or not? Let's not do the cat and mouse game. Keep it very true. Keep it very real. Keep it very straight. Let's not talk in circles. Now we've got Darian saying, obviously, because she plays tough at home, and we've seen it. Oh, I don't care. You do care. That's the problem. You care. That's the problem. You care. And now you're saying you don't care. He's going to take advantage of that. Let's stop saying that. I think I said this with Hollywood and Ashley from last season. I said the same thing. Stop saying you don't care when you do care. It's okay to say, hey, do you know what? I actually care. And I'm a little bit annoyed. I don't want you to go on a date with Kai, and here's why. I feel like, I can't trust you in that situation, or I just feel like something might happen and I'm a little bit scared by that. That's the honest truth. Free yourself by saying the truth. Now, if he decides to go on a date after that, you know what kind of man you're dealing with. Okay? You know what kind of man you're dealing with. All right? So, like, you just got to relax. We need Darian to have a bit more emotional intelligence. That's the honest truth. But what I get from Darian, I want to just play this little clip here. It's of him and Kai, and it's a really interesting thing about his relationship with Kai. Listen to this.
Who am I gonna talk to? The next date is not guaranteed to be like you.
But I'm not here to be your help. I am not the help.
So you hear him say, obviously, if I got another date, who else am I going to talk to? I think there's a genuine, deeper conversations that he seemingly has with Kai at the moment. I think he really does enjoy being able to connect with her, talk, catch two jokes, banter, have that kind of conversation with her. He's obviously getting something from the connection that is just more than just physical. As he mentions, who am I going to talk to? So he's probably got to a space where he can't talk to Alexia. And when you can't talk to your partner, this destroys emotional safety. This destroys emotional intimacy. This is the beginning of the end of your relationship if we don't get it back on track quickly. We need to be able to have conversations with our partners, sometimes tough ones, but we need to be able to talk. I need to feel safe that I can talk to you. I need to feel a desire to want to communicate with you. If I'm having that desire for someone else, we've got a problem. And we need to deal with it. Okay? So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Having emotional intelligence is really important because if you don't have it, you become a bull in a china shop. Okay, and what that really is that the person is ignorant and unaware. Okay. Of your emotions and how to handle them. And then because they're not sure how to handle them, they become a bull in your life. They knock everything down. They have no tact, no delivery. They just become so problematic because they don't know how to handle and process what you're saying from an emotional standpoint. I think that's where Darren is, and I would love to be able to be wrong about that, but I think he needs a little bit more emotional emotional intelligence injection, so he understands where she's coming from. I think that's where they're kind of, there's a misbalance there as well. And that often comes from traumatic environments that you've grown up in. Traumatic environments where you've been in abusive, or you've been in a lack of emotional care being given to you, having to hustle hard from a young age, having to put your emotions aside to make it through life and survive, going through situations where you're now becoming numb, being in environments where it's abrasive and very emotionally devoid. Those situations are going to cause you to be emotionally unintelligent because you've not been fed that information and that knowledge, so you don't know any better. I think Darren might be in that space. So guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Okay, all right, let us know your thoughts down below, what you thought about this particular video. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of what uploads. I want to let you guys know as well, listen, I am a coach as well. I coach people in relationships. I coach them to be better. I coach them to be healthy, because that's what you want in the end. If you're looking for coaching, please do hit us up on littleblackbook91@gmail.com. We are happy to help anyone. It's not free though. It's not free though, but we're happy to help. All right, guys. All right, that's where it is there. If you want a relationship coaching, hit us up. But I want to say, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay low. You know what time it is.